Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Any Kind Media. We are your hosts. My name is Ocean Subiono.
I'm Taylor Vieira.
And on this episode of Our Take, we are going to bring to you a review on Blumhouse and... Yeah, it's just Blumhouse, right? And Universal, I guess?
Yeah,
Universal and Blumhouse's newest production called The Black Phone, starring Ethan Hawke and a bunch of kids.
Yep.
We just watched this movie today. We just came from the movie theater, so it's fresh in our mind, ready to rock and roll. As usual, give a spoiler-free review, give it a rating, and then we'll dive into some spoilers. So we'll start with spoiler-free review. Best scary movie I've ever watched.
Really?
Granted, I haven't watched very many, so it's not really saying a whole lot.
It's
not really saying a whole lot. But out of all of the actual meant to be scary or I don't know if I consider this horror, but
it is. It's a horror.
Yeah, out of those, all the movies that I've watched in that genre, this is the best one I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, it's not saying a whole lot, but for me, best one I've seen.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me because I do watch a lot of horror movies.
Right.
This is a good movie. I liked it quite a bit. I think the acting was very good in this.
Yeah.
And the only fault I can give it is that I'm pretty sure it was in the trailer reaction we did. I literally predicted the movie.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, it was executed very well.
Yeah, it was well done. Like you said, the acting was really, really good. Ethan Hawke did amazing, and even the kids did well.
Kids actually did surprisingly well.
Usually kids, we give them a little bit of leeway, right, with their acting because they're younger or whatever. But the kids that were in this film did pretty well. Even the side characters, like the school bullies and stuff like that, were.
I love the friends.
Yeah, so it was good. I really enjoyed it. It's actually typically when I watch scary movies, I watch them like this, just in case something scary happens. I can go,
yeah. I gotta say too,
but
without going into details till later, I kind of wish this movie was longer.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you there that I actually left the theater not wanting more, but would have been okay with more.
Yeah.
The story was told well. And I think with a little bit more time, they might have been able to delve a little bit deeper into a few aspects.
I think they did a great job with the time frame that they ended up with. But I think this movie would have benefited even further with a little bit more time.
I think a little bit more background on Ethan Hawke's character would have been nice. Without it, it's not bad. It doesn't hurt it. But like you said, with a little bit more, it might have been better. And even a little bit more background into the sister's abilities.
Yeah.
Because it came from her mom and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, shoot, that might be a spoiler. Sorry. My bad. But, so it was well done. As far as the rating goes, I'm sitting at an 8 for myself for this movie. Again, take it with a grain of salt because I don't watch horror movies. I don't watch scary movies. So I watched this one because we did the trailer reaction and I watched it for the channel. So, you're welcome. But as far as me and my experience,
now we can watch all of the scary movies.
I'm sitting at an 8. So where are you at?
Yeah. I do really like the movie. I think I'm gonna end up giving it an 8.
Really?
I think
okay. All right. I'm glad I'm not far off.
I would probably give this realistically a 7.5, but we're not doing decimals, so I will round it up to an 8.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not off then.
As far as
because of my limited experience with scary movies, I'm glad I'm not off on that one. So. All right, we've given you our rating. We've given you guys a spoiler-free review. I do recommend that you go and see this movie. If you do not like scary movies, if you're not a scary movie person, I still recommend that you watch it because the story of the movie is good enough and the way that they do the scary moments and stuff It's not that bad.
Yeah, I want to say, so this is really a thriller horror movie.
Yeah.
So it's got some jump scares and stuff. There's no like real gore or anything.
I mean, there is blood and stuff, but it's
blood,
not.
but it's not like,
yeah, it's not
crazy. Like it's honestly like it's not really a whole lot. So for a horror movie, this is a very easy to watch one.
Yeah. So if you're the kind of person that enjoys good stories, good movies,
because it's more story driven than it is.
Yeah, but you can't really deal with a lot of horror. This one is a good one, a good middle of the road one for you. So I definitely recommend you watch it. I'm trying to think because we watched 2 movies this weekend. We watched Elvis and we watched The Black Phone. So for you, which one would you tell people to go watch first?
To watch first?
Yeah. Like if they could only see one movie this weekend, what would you go say to see?
Honestly, it really just depends if you're an Elvis fan. If you don't care about Elvis, I would say go watch this movie.
Yeah.
But if you do like Elvis, I would say go watch Elvis before you watch this.
I mean, I guess if you're an Elvis fan, your mind is pretty much made up for you. But if you're an average person like myself that likes Elvis but isn't like a super fan or anything, I would say go watch Black Phone.
This is probably easier to sit through just because it's shorter as well.
Yeah, true. But yeah, that's our spoiler-free movie review for you. So if you don't want to
watch the movie,
if you don't want to be spoiled by anything, go check out the movie and then come back and break down the spoilers with us in the rest of the video. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your official
spoiler alert.
All right. Like I said, I don't watch scary movies very often. You know this. We've been friends forever, and you know that I don't like scary movies. But I actually enjoyed this quite a bit. Like even the moments that were scary and the moments that, they jumped at you or whatever, I don't think I ever closed my eyes or covered my eyes or anything. There were a few parts that got me pretty good.
Yeah.
And raised my heart rate a little bit. Mainly the one that got me super good and I wasn't expecting at all was the kids in the road when the sister was riding her bike and then she just saw it like that got me pretty good. So but it wasn't something that like I'm still thinking about at this moment, like, oh my god, that was so scary, I can't go to sleep tonight. So it was good though, man. I really enjoyed it.
Grabber might get you.
Yeah. Don't say his name, bro. So movie starts out with main character Finney and his sister, and the movie starts out with them at a baseball game. Finney's pitching, and he throws to this Asian kid, which I just want to point out, this is Denver, Colorado in the 70s. I lived in Denver, Colorado in the 90s, and there were no Asian kids at that time. So I don't know where that Asian kid came from, but whatever. That's besides the point. Yeah. But the movie, they're at a baseball game, and he throws to this Asian kid, and they have a nice little moment. And then you can clearly tell from like things that they say and the posters and stuff that there had already been a few kidnappings already. Yeah. But then this kid that Finney threw the pitch to, he got kidnapped, and so that was kind of like when it got real for Finney and for us, because that's the first we see of it, right? So there's this guy kidnapping kids, and there's obviously the police can't figure it out or whatever, and the story is the thing that I liked about it is that the story is less about the grabber and the kidnappings and more about Finney and his development as a person and stuff. So obviously Finney gets kidnapped, right? And there's a phone in the room, and the phone is a link to all of the kids that came before him, and then they help him escape. And yeah, that's the movie. Thank you for watching. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, what did you, as a scary or horror movie connoisseur yourself?
I'm not a connoisseur.
What did you like and what did you dislike?
Honestly, I think overall they did a really good job with pretty much everything. It's just I just ultimately, like, I wasn't disappointed, but I just wanted more. Like, I think they developed everybody very well. The connections and everything with, like, all the different kids and stuff I thought were super good and interesting. I don't know why, but I hated the sister through this movie.
Interesting.
She just seemed irritating to me. And even the main character throughout his development, like,
I think you just don't like whiny people.
Probably.
Because every time there's a whiny person on screen, you always say that you hate them. Yeah. So,
because even the main character, whiny people. Like, there was a portion I was like, dude, you're a loser, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think that was, honestly, I think that was a whole point, right?
Yeah, it is. I know. Like, I'm just saying it's irritating. I know it's supposed to be, but it's annoying. Because obviously you're meant to watch him progress and learn to, like, believe, like, get confidence and stuff with himself and all that, and get, courage and everything, which is normal. So that's why I'm not like hating on the movie for that. It's just something I had when I watched the movie.
Yeah.
Man, Ethan Hawke, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved his character.
Let's talk a little bit about Ethan Hawke's performance and his character himself. This is one of the things that I was mentioning, like, I wish we would have gotten a little bit of background on him, because we really don't know anything about him.
Right.
We don't even know his name. We don't know we don't know why he's kidnapping people or kids. We don't know anything, right? Which isn't bad, but Ethan Hawke he portrays this kidnapper that wears masks, right? Obviously you can see here.
And it's like I said, it's got his expressions change.
Right. And that is something that you had mentioned during the trailer review or trailer reaction, that the mask will change depending on his inner feelings and expression, right? Which it did.
Yeah, and I loved seeing it. Yeah. Like when the kid was like, "Don't walk out the stairs." And of course, typical horror movie fashion. Yeah. He walks gotta be an idiot. And he's gonna creep up. Granted, he didn't go all the way. No. He was just trying to see and get a feeling for it. But you get like a shot of him sitting in the hallway, like waiting, like with his shirt off and the belt ready, and he's just like pissed. Yeah. He's got like the frowning expression because he's expecting the kid to make the same mistake that all the other kids did. Right. And he doesn't. But like just that feeling of him like sitting there, like I loved it. Yeah, it was good. And Ethan Hawke, man, he killed the performance. You don't. I think there's one frame or like one split second of you actually seeing his full face. It was in the beginning.
Was it in the beginning?
Yeah, when he first kidnaps him.
Oh,
he's just wearing face paint.
On that note, I didn't actually see that part because I don't know if you noticed, but I walked out. Oh, because I ate some popcorn. No, I didn't eat popcorn. What did I eat? I don't know. I ate something that didn't quite agree with my stomach. And I had to go take care of that. And didn't take long. I got back in pretty quick. I got back in when he was in the basement.
But basically, when he first runs into him, I think it's in the trailer too. Yeah. Like, and he kidnaps him, he's just wearing face paint. Yeah. So he's not wearing the mask or anything. Right.
But my point though is that we don't see his face, and he's still able to deliver an incredible performance without being able to actually see his facial expressions.
Yeah. Other than that, you never see his full face, too.
I think at the end, I think you do. I think at the end when he's in the hole with the broken ankle and he's fighting him, when he rips off his mask. No, but when he rips off his mask, I think you see his face then.
Yeah, for a split second.
Yeah, for a very split second, and the rest of it, his hair is covering his face. So, but it's just, to me, it's Ethan Hawke is just to be able to deliver that kind of performance while not being able to actually use your facial expressions and stuff. It's very, very impressive. So, hats off to you, Ethan Hawke, especially after. I loved,
the moment when he's like questioning him, and he's like, I just want to know your name. Yeah. He's like, even if you don't tell me, I'm going to find out through the newspaper. Right. This is another moment I hated the main character, because it's like, he literally just explained to you that you shouldn't lie to him, and then you lie to him. Yeah. and then you can't, because he's standing in like the doorway, right, and the lighting doesn't show his face purposely,
right?
Because as soon as he lies, he walks forward and you see that frowny face again. You're like, oh shit, dude. Like, and then he throws the newspaper at him and he's like, oh, I don't like you, you naughty boy.
He already knew that he was gonna lie. Yeah.
But every time he just does that, to me, it's just great.
Yeah, even that scene, you see it in the trailer, but the scene of him being like, oh, if you grab me, I'll scratch your face, and then everybody will wonder why your face is scratched. And then he does the like
this face?
This face?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. Another scene that I kind of chuckled at was when the cops are canvassing the neighborhood. They go into the house, and the brother is upstairs, right? And they ask the brother.
Pretty sure you can probably check, but I'm pretty sure that's the guy from Stephen King's It. And when the little girl's riding the little bike, she's wearing that yellow rain jacket.
Yeah,
like Georgie.
Okay, so let me finish my thought, and then I'll talk about that. My thought, or what I was trying to say, is I was chuckling because he says, "Oh, I'm crashing at my brother's place," and then he's trying to help the police because he's like
legitimately. And he's giving them like solid information too.
And they kind of blow him off because they think he's some crazy guy. And then as the cops walking out the door, he's like, "Oh, you might want to clean up this before your brother gets home." And it pans over to the coffee table, and there's just like 3 lines of cocaine on the table. And I was just like, "Oh my!" He's like, "Dang it!" And then he picks up a dog pill and I'm like, "This guy's hilarious."
Yeah, he did good.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, pretty sure it's the same guy, but
yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
So on that note, I wouldn't be surprised if it is the same guy, and I wouldn't be surprised, or I'm not surprised about the yellow jacket on a, huh?
It is right in the second one. Yeah,
it is.
So I'm not surprised about that. I'm not surprised about the yellow jacket on a bike in the rain, because I don't know if you know this, but this movie is based off of I don't know if it's a book or a story written by Joel King, who is Stephen King's son. So I'm not surprised that there's homages to Stephen King's It in it.
But yeah, every time I watch something, I can always identify the It stuff because I love It. It's so good.
So I didn't know that was a piece of information given to us by a fan and viewer of the show. So thank you to that person. You know who you are. But yeah, this movie is based off of a story or a book written by Joel King, who is really Stephen King's son. I didn't even know. First of all, I didn't know Stephen King had a son, and I didn't know that he wrote. So it's a short story. Short story by Joel King.
That's not surprising, but that's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Following in the family business, you know. Yep.
He was great,
and he didn't direct the movie obviously, but it's a fantastic story. So. Yep. So what did you like then about the movie? What is it about a scary movie that what is it about a scary movie that makes it a good scary movie versus a crappy one?
It really depends, because some classics, especially, I would say ultimately it's the story and the acting, but some movies I like, especially the old ones, like I said, classic ones, I like just because they're just that scary. Like, they're just meant to be terrifying to you. Okay. But, so it kind of, because horror, there's so many different, like, subgenres or
whatever, yeah.
But for something like this, especially, it's the... like I said, it is a thriller, and it's got some jump scares, which are generally cheap to me. But it's got to be so like believable and disturbing for it to be like entertaining to me, versus just like sheer like shock and gore and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Because I watch that stuff too, but like that's, if I'm expecting that, that's all, that's whatever. Yeah. But I love stuff like this where it's I have no doubt that there was people like this in real life.
Oh yeah,
and it's terrifying to think about.
Right.
And it's funny because it actually reminds me of
John Wayne Gacy, right?
Yeah, the John Gacy thing on Netflix, right? He used to bury kids and stuff in his under his house and stuff, and some of that is in this, and it's like, that's crazy. But it like, because Ethan Hawke plays the character so well, and like the whole mask and everything, and his like demeanor and black clothes and the, you know, the top hat and stuff. Like, I just think he's such a cool and interesting character. And then the kids too, like, and especially because kids are like hard, I feel like, to, at least for me personally, to excite me, because they're generally, like you said, kind of like hit or miss with their performances, just because they're kids.
Right.
But I think in this movie they actually were really good. Like all of them.
They did really well. The only,
I believe, like I said, the only one that annoyed me was the sister. But as a sister, I do like her performance, like the you know, the close connection and stuff they had. And then the friend,
I thought her performance was really good. That scene of her father beating her in the kitchen and her crying, like that was real to me. Like that looked that looked like a little girl getting beaten.
I was like I said, I was kind of like disturbed, because it's like, wow, that's just kind of scary, like in a real sense of like just watching a kid getting abused by their parent. That, I mean, that didn't, like, that's not what I meant. I just meant like her,
the way that her character attitude, is written,
like with just the brother. Like whenever she would like talk back and forth between him, and like she just, I don't know, she's just irritating to me.
Interesting.
It was like, I don't know if it's just her voice, like, but I thought, all the kids in this were really good. The friend, not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting like, he really beat on that dude.
Okay, so there's two things that they really are the same thing, but they're in two separate situations that are the only things that I kind of just have a little bit of a problem with in this movie. One is the friend. What is his name? It starts with a B, I think. I don't know. Whatever. His friend. There's a scene in the beginning of the movie of one of the school bullies is like trying to pick a fight with Finney's friend, and Finney's friend is like, well, you want to do something about it? Let's go. And he swings at him and he just beats the crap out of him. However, these kids are middle school age, right? And I have a hard time believing that a middle school age kid is able to pull off a high kick like that onto somebody else. Like, that's just is a little bit, I mean, I'm sure there's some kids out there that have been doing martial arts for
be taking martial arts.
I'm sure there are, but even those kids, like, to have the kind of power and perfect form and technique that kid had, it's just a little unbelievable to me. I would have rather have seen him like,
hey man, he's a minority, you know. He wants to be able to stand up for himself, like.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get the whole point of it, but Robin, that's his name. It's not a B. My bad. Robin. So that was a little, like, when I saw it, I was like, I don't know about that one, but whatever.
I thought it was awesome.
But
I was like, dang, dude, get him.
But in the same kind of sense, in the final, battle scene or whatever, when he's fighting, when Finney is fighting Ethan Hawke's character and trying to escape.
It gave us more sense of like, oh yeah, it makes sense for him to be trying to teach him that stuff, right?
Yeah, and then in that scene, at the end, Finney lays some traps for him, which are cool. I get it. Like, that's solid. I like that. Ethan Hawke's character falls into the hole that Finney dug, breaks his ankle, and they're fighting with Ethan Hawke like halfway out of the ground, and Finney's hitting him with the phone, and then he like
full on twisted his ankle too. Like,
oh, he broke that ankle for sure. Yeah. But Finney like jumps over him and wraps around the phone wire around his neck and chokes him, and then you hear the kids.
I loved when
he's like, his arm is mint. Yeah,
Bruce Yamato was like, his arm is mint,
and then he just like. Again,
satisfying.
It was satisfying in the moment, and it was kind of a cool callback to the beginning of the movie, and it was nice to hear all those kids, get a little bit of closure, saying like, screw you.
I will say one thing. It was interesting to me because I guess I was slightly off of what I was thinking or predicting with this movie. Is I thought that all the kids would give him
one step
to escape.
Yeah.
But it was really one step to basically help with that final battle.
Right. Well, it was all of their escape attempts, like what they did to try and escape.
Yeah, that didn't
and then
work.
Finney was able to use all of them to finish it. Right. He was able to bring them all together and use all of the things.
Because I was thinking the whole time, I was like, when he dug up that hole, I'm like, what is the point of that?
Yeah.
And then in the end, it makes sense. But
yeah,
I wasn't thinking about that.
I don't know. I have a hard time believing that a kid could snap an adult's neck like that with a phone wire.
Yeah,
but but in the moment, it was satisfying. I was like, nice, good job. But like I said, those are two basically the same things, right? Kid not being able to do something, but
yeah,
in the end, like it's not really that big of a deal. It's just me being nitpicky, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not. But those are really like the only two parts of the movie I was like, I don't know about that one. The rest of it, I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh shit, it was good.
You didn't you didn't think about the whole sister with the visions thing? That
well, I mean,
you?
obviously
that's a little stretch.
I mean, obviously that was it's. I mean, there's some kind of supernatural thing, whatever, but they. To me, like I can handle that.
Has this involved too?
Huh?
There's a Netflix series that has an episode about people with, like the ability to predict things. It's got William Shatner on it.
It's to me I write that off as storytelling, right? Yeah. That's just the world that they live in, or the world that the movie takes place in. There are people that have that ability. Yeah. And they talk about it a little bit with how her mom had an ability similar to that, but it kind of sounds like her mom was a little just cuckoo.
Yeah, because she ended up killing herself.
Yeah. But like that's another one of those things that I was talking about earlier. I would have liked a little bit more backstory on. I think it would have add a little bit more depth to the father's character.
See, that was the thing is I feel like I kind of wanted more backstory with the kids and the father, because what they showed is they pretty much make the dad look just like a straight dick. Like I get it, he was abusive and stuff, which is not good, but like I could kind of see it whenever he was talking to the daughter, of like, I don't want, when he's like, I don't want this future for you,
right?
Because he just, which to me makes sense, like,
he just didn't know how to handle it.
Like he didn't know, like he's just trying to raise the kids, and like his wife, like, ended up having these visions and stuff, which I guess for a while they probably were okay, and then she ended up killing herself because of that. Like, I'd be kind of afraid for my daughter too.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm not sure I would know how to handle it either. And for him, it would just came out in him drinking and being abusive.
Yeah.
So,
which, I mean, like I said, it doesn't excuse that.
No.
It just would,
If we had more, I think if they had talked more about their relationship with their father prior to her mom dying, or even just, I don't know, given a little bit more depth in that area of the movie, I think it would have made the father's character better. And I really wish they would have done that, especially because I love the actor that played the father.
Yeah, he was really good.
What's his name? He's from, I know he's in Lost. It would have
made the moment at the very end
even
made more emotional as well.
Jeremy Davis. Yeah, I love that actor because he's in Lost and he's in some other stuff.
Yeah,
but I love him, and you're right. It would have made, at the end, obviously Finney gets out, right?
They get saved and stuff, but like they're sitting on the ambulance, and he runs up and he's like, "Those are my kids." And he's just like, "I'm sorry," and he starts breaking down and stuff. Like,
and I would have made that scene better. I mean, it was all right. It was pretty good as it was, but it definitely would have made that scene way better. Yeah. I mean, other than that, I enjoyed it, man.
It was funny, but scary, I guess, at the same time when the brother comes down.
Oh, it's like,
oh my God, don't worry, I'm gonna save you. He's at work right now.
Yeah.
And then the kid's just like, oh.
It's just like,
the door
okay,
slowly opens and just, like the action.
The funny part was he was like, "Do you want to hear the story of how I figured out where
you were?"
Yeah.
And just like, oh no.
Yeah. And then Ethan Hawke's character just axe in the head.
It's just funny because he plays like a similar character in.
Oh, really?
Like he's one of the funny kids in the group.
I didn't watch the newest It.
It's really good.
I watched the old one, but I haven't seen the new.
You probably would like it if you like this movie. You would probably be more scared than this.
Yeah, the original It terrified me. Yeah. Terrified me.
It's different though than the original. I do like the original a lot too.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, the movie was good, man. I enjoyed it. I don't know that it makes me want to watch more scary movies, but I would be open to more stuff like this.
Scary movies.
If you guys tell me that you want to see more scary movie content, I'll consider it. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below if you want more.
If not, then I have to put on the frowny face.
Yeah, you got anything else to say about the movie?
I thought it was a good movie.
It was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
I don't know how this movie's doing either. But
it's kind of
I hope people do watch it though.
It's kind of a bummer. I don't know who decided, but like it's kind of a bummer. It came out on the same day as Elvis.
Yeah, I think they should have waited.
Yeah,
or did it?
There's nothing coming out next week, right? So
no, I don't think so.
In the last video, we talked about why it was delayed.
Yeah,
they thought it was because of COVID. So I can't say an article, but like a headline that came out a little while ago was that it was supposed to come out on its original date, and the pre-release screenings reviews were so good that they changed it to June because they wanted it to be a summer movie.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Our producer just said, in case you guys didn't hear, he just said that there was a headline that he had saw that the initial reviews before it was released were super good, so they wanted to make it a summer movie so that there would be more viewership. And that's interesting.
Which makes sense, but
there's what, 8 weeks? 8 weeks in the summer movie.
They either should have did it a week earlier or after.
I would have done it a week earlier.
Which I would have went earlier as well.
Yeah, because otherwise you're rolling into
what is there,
Thor
Lightyear? Like,
yeah,
it would have been fine.
Oh, it would have crushed Lightyear, and Lightyear already had abysmal numbers. It would have been even worse if this movie came out at the same time. So, but in the end, Blumhouse, Universal, good job.
Yep,
solid freaking movie. Ethan Hawke, incredible performance, great job. Unfortunately, I think there's a lot of other performances so far this year that are probably going to outshine yours, but I appreciate your performance. So thank you for that. Thank you to the viewers. Please like, subscribe, check out our trailer reaction, check out the rest of our videos. Let us know what you want to see. Right now, we're just kind of watching movies, watching TV shows that we normally would watch, and we do reviews and we give you our take on them. But if there's something that you guys want to know or something that you want to hear our take on, please let us know in the comments down below, and we'll put it into the rotation. So
down to watch anything.
Yeah. So thank you guys. Appreciate you being here. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Make sure you hit that like button, or else you're gonna be a naughty boy.